Hi, and welcome to the first Bacchus and Beery video blog. I'm Roger Beery, and this is my son Conk. Conk's studying winemaking, viticulture, enology, and grape growing, all that good stuff at Texas Tech University. Yes, they do grow grapes, and they do make wine in Texas.
Dad, I think we need to start this with a confession.
I think you're right.
Forgive me, Father, for we have zinned. And as you can see by all the bottles of Zinfandel in front of us, we've zinned a lot over the last week.
Yes, we have zinned a lot this week. So, anytime you go into a wine shop and you go to the Zinfandel aisle, you see all these zins with funky names. And so we decided it might be fun to taste Zinfandels with funky names and see how they work. All these wines sold for under $20, and they go from vintages 2005 to 2008, just like you find them in any wine shop. So, Conk, what was your overall impression of these wines?
Overall, I was extremely surprised at how similar each wine tasted.
I agree. I think they all have this sort of cherry cola flavor. Not that sweet, but still kind of a cherry cola thing, and not that jamminess and richness that you find in a Sonoma or Napa Zin. But for the price, they weren't bad. None of these wines were bad.
To me, they had a more of a black cherry taste versus a cherry cola taste. And I think that I liked all the noses better than you did. But I was really surprised at how all the noses had extremely complex palates, but then once you tasted the wine, they had a little less of a body than the nose portrayed it to have.
I see. Okay, so we've divided these wines into two groups. The first three were ones that we didn't care for quite as much. And in this group, you have Plunger Head, Z52, and the ever-enticing name Zenful Thoughts. In our recommended group, we've got Gnarly Head at our low-price wine, Bray Zin, Cardinal Zin, and the ever-popular Seven Deadly Zins. Now, I will tell you that we posted on our Facebook page that we were going to do this blog, and I asked for recommendations. I got more recommendations for Seven Deadly Zins than any other Zinfandel with a funky name. So let's start with Gnarly Head. This wine sells normally for under $10. It's a little sweeter. It definitely has that cherry cola flavor. It's not a great Zinfandel, but it's good. And for the price, it's a really good value. What do you think about this one?
I like the wine as well. I thought I like the sweet cherry taste in it, and I especially like the fact that it's under $10 because on my college budget, I can drink it regularly at that point.
There you go.
The next one we're talking about is Bray Zin, and it is a $15 bottle. And instead of having the sweet cherry cola type taste like the other ones, this one had more of a mocha, blackberry, peppery taste. It's a good patio sipping wine, but unfortunately I don't think the body would hold up to drink it with a meal, with spicy foods and barbecue foods, which are normally associated with Zinfandels.
Right. Well, our next two and our two favorites were Cardinal Zin from Bonnie Doon and Seven Deadly Zins. Now, Cardinal Zin says on the label it comes from beastly old Zinfandel vines. Well, our research tells us that these beastly old vines are actually only about 20 years old. Now, compare that to Zinfandel vines that you find in Sonoma and Napa that literally are 100 years old. And you can really taste the difference. While these wines are good, they're enjoyable. They definitely don't have the level of complexity and jamminess that I really like in those Zins. But all that said, these are really good value wines. So this one, I still did get a lot of that cherry cola flavor here in Cardinal Zin, but it was definitely a better balance, and it was more tongue enveloping, and it gave me a little bit of spice and dark fruit and sort of a chocolate kind of flavor, and it had plenty of flavor to hold up to the grill. Conk, what did you think?
I think you liked that wine a lot more than I did. I felt that after every sip of this wine, I was left with a really dry mouth, and it just really astringent on my tongue. It wasn't as enjoyable to my palate as it was to yours.
Well, I guess that's why they make a lot of different wines.
Bacchus. So.
Yeah. Well, can we agree on 7 Deadly Zins?
Yeah, we can. I definitely think it's the best of the bunch. It had the most appealing nose, and I picked up on a lot of raspberry and raisin flavors, and also it had a little bit of cracked black pepper flavor as well.
Okay. Well, we understand that this wine is a blend of 7 different vineyards in Lodi, and apparently the Phillips brothers of Michael and David family of wines, who makes this wine, used the fact that it came from 7 vineyards and their Catholic school upbringing to come up with the catchy name 7 Deadly Zins, which obviously does get your attention as you're walking through the aisle. The other bonus on their wines is they've got great poetry on the back label, and their poems are fun and they're well written and really well done. 7 Deadly Zins has a nice tannin structure, a little more than we saw in these other wines, so it gives it a little bit richer feel to it, and combine that with hints of blackberry and dark fruit and that Lodi cola flavor, which is a bit milder here. You've got a great value wine at $15. So thanks for joining us on our Bacchus and Beery video blog. Next week we're off to Texas for the grape harvest. We'll see you there.